Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Todd.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. I am Todd. We move on to men's soccer, and we've got the assistant coach with us today, Vaughn. Kelley. Coach, thank you for joining us. I know it's the first time you've done an interview like this.
Yes, sir.
So we'll try to do this to where you're comfortable, and we'll get this thing going pretty well. There's been 2 games since the last time that we spoke with Coach Regan. The first one was against Cal PA. The Toppers pick up a big win, 1-0 in that game. What were your thoughts as a coach, how the team performed?
Versus Cal PA, we at first half we didn't execute well, but second half we went out there and coach gave a halftime speech, and the boys did a great job in the second half.
Zach Forehand with the lone goal. He's done pretty well so far this season. Speak on him.
I'm telling you, man, Zach Forehand, he's been a revelation for the team. He's quick, full of pace, and he's just been excited to play, to be honest. This season is a change of position for him. Usually he's a winger, and now we're playing him at forward, and he's loving the change.
Well, a little change of pace can always help out here or there. Also, Colton Callan, the goalkeeper, tremendous game, didn't let up anything. Talk on his play.
I'm extremely happy for Colton because he's been the number 2 for 3 years. And then this is his first year as a senior, being the number 1. So I'm so happy that he even got that clean sheet in that game because he's been a steward of the program over 4 years now.
How do you feel just about this game in general, moving on as the season goes, how you can build upon this win?
So this was like a redemption game because we lost the 2 previous games and we had a talk, and this was where we want the season to really start. So this was like a redemption game, and the boys, they came out and they gave their all and got the results we needed.
Well, the feeling after this big win against a regional opponent in Cal PA, then you had to travel back up to Pittsburgh to take on Point Park. Got to play in a very nice stadium. Is that maybe the best place you're going to play all season long?
Yeah, it's good. Best footballing environment. Yeah, so far.
That's Highmark Stadium, I believe, right on the river.
I think the Riverhounds play there.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful stadium. I'm a big Pittsburgh professional sports fan, so anything Pittsburgh that's pro sports, I'm a fan of. College, not so much. I think that goes to say for a lot of people around here in West Virginia. But in that game against Point Park, Toppers came up just a little short. It ended 2-1, but once again, you see Zach Forehand having a good game, got a good amount of shots and assist as well.
So in that game, we actually hit the post like 3 times, and that's the only game that we have the most shots. So we had 18 shots in that game. That's the most in a single game this season. So a bit unfortunate to lose the game. However, I feel like we have just one thing that's kind of beating us, our Achilles heel. We're kind of short on set pieces, and me and coach, we've been drafting a plan to work on that.
Well, with how this game went, what do you take away from the match, and again, trying to build forward as the conference play starts to kick up?
So the positives from that game is we played well. It's the best we've played all season. Soccer is a cruel game. You can play well and then you can still lose, so... As I said, we have an Achilles heel, which is set pieces, and the only positive we can take from the game is that we played very well. We create the most chances we create in a single game, so that's the positive we're going to take from that game.
Well, now we move on, more conference play. We film these on Tuesday mornings, so this will air on Tuesday, but it's tomorrow night on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Frostburg State comes to town. What can we expect to see from them?
Yeah, so Frostburg State, so coach said before the season started, if we win all our home games, we'll be in the playoffs, and we can expect nothing less than a win in that game.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you being here. Thank you. How did the first interview go? How do you think?
It's all right. It's nice.
Well, we'll see if he can come on and do some more in place of Coach Regan. Again, thank you so much for being here. Good luck against Frostburg State, and maybe we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Disasters happen. Pick the team that takes care of them all. Powered by offices in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration is ready to handle any size emergency at a moment's notice. We have the right people, knowledge, and equipment to respond 24 hours a day.
I'm Roger Wiley. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Hilltoppers call, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Todd.
And welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, here with the women's head soccer coach, Pete McMenemy. Coach, there's been 2 matches since the last time we spoke. A good week for the Lady Toppers.
Yeah, we spoke last week about the need for us to click a little bit offensively and put some goals on the board and get some points in conference play. So, yeah, it was a good week for us.
You talk about putting some goals on the board. That's absolutely what happened in the first match since the last time we spoke. 9-1 was the final score against Salem. A huge offensive outburst. 6 goals in the first half, 24 shots on goal in the opening half, 36 total in the game. Morgan Cost, 2 goals, 2 assists. Huge match for her. Yeah,
huge match. Morgan's... when she's on, and she can be a really threatening player for us. And she has that ability to not only create goals for her teammates, but then also score them herself. So she has that knack of getting into the box at the right time, and then ultimately getting goals as well.
What do you think was the biggest reason for the huge offensive outburst?
I think, we touched on 1 or 2 things in the build-up to the Salem game about ways that we could, more opportunities for us and create more opportunities. And I think ultimately we just executed it better. We had the final pass to then lead to the final goal, and that kind of all clicked for us on the day, whereas perhaps in previous games we were maybe lacking that little final pass. So it was definitely pleasing to see.
And then sometimes in these games, a big offensive win, 9-1 again against Salem. Every once in a while, there can be some defensive lapses here and there, and it doesn't cost you because it's such a big win for you. But what did you see defensively that you liked and disliked in this game?
I thought our communication and our kind of cohesiveness was a lot better. Working as a back 5 unit along with our goalkeeper, which was definitely better. We do give up 1 goal, which we always want to get as many shutouts as possible. And we had spoke about it actually right after the game. It was simply just a long punt from their goalkeeper that we didn't deal with that led to a free kick, and then they scored off the free kick. So it just shows you that the game is, fine kind of margins. Had that been, obviously a closer game, that can come back to bite you. So for us, it's about learning from the errors so that we can continuously, obviously, not make those same mistakes again.
After this game, I'm sure the team was riding a big high, winning a 9-1 victory over Salem. You had to travel up to Pittsburgh, playing Highmark Stadium. What was that stadium, first off? Was that the best stadium you'll play in all season long?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a professional soccer stadium, so I think we were very lucky to be in that environment, and we just told the ladies kind of from the jump that this is a wonderful experience, and you have to first and foremost enjoy it, but enjoy it by working hard and doing the things that we're asking you to do. So it was definitely a great experience for them.
And it seemed like your team picked up right where they left off after a huge win, 9 goals in 1 game. In the 4th minute of this game, you get your first goal. Maya Taggart gave the Toppers their first goal of the game. How did you feel about the early performance?
Yeah, I thought we started the game really well, and we relayed that to the ladies during the game. I mean, I think we started really, really well. We started doing the things that we want to do in the game. And then we get the opportunity, obviously, off a corner kick. We had worked on, just the way they set up defensively as a little bit different from corners than most other teams, and we saw opportunities that we could get at, and it was pretty much the first corner that we scored off of. So that was definitely pleasing. It's something that the team's put a lot of time in, and we as a staff have put a lot of time in terms of organisation at set pieces, because it's a big opportunity to score a goal, and that's what we're looking to do.
And Point Park is new to the MEC. How do they stand up in terms of the other teams? Where do you think they rank? So
yeah, they're a good team. I mean, they got a lot of experience within their group. For them, obviously, they've coming over from NAIA. There's a lot of international players that they have on their roster as well, which lends itself to, I think, a different type of player sometimes than some of the domestic players. So yeah, they were a good team, and I think that they'll be a match for anybody on their day.
How do you feel about your team's performance against Point Park after the big win against Salem?
So I think as I said, the start of the game was very good. First kind of opening 20-25 minutes, and the scoreline was obviously a reflection from that. I think for whatever reason we kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit for the last kind of 10-15 minutes. We had to make some substitutions in personnel. But I don't think that should change kind of how you want to play or your level of performance. So we managed to get in at the halftime, still 1-up. And honestly, we never really got going at the start of the second half. For whatever reason, it just was not happening. They changed a little bit to press us a little bit higher up. And we maybe struggled with our speed of play a little bit in the opening kind of 15-20 minutes and trying to pass the ball forward more often. And then we ran into a nice weather delay that we ran into. So we were pretty much stuck inside for about 45 minutes to an hour. Both teams were. And then we came out to play the final 12 minutes of the game at 1-1. And that was honestly like a basketball game for the last 12 minutes. Like, it was just end-to-end stuff, players running back and forward. Both teams are trying to win the game, which of course you want to see. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy kind of last 12 minutes to the game.
Well, it was a good 2 matches since the last time we spoke. Again, we film these on Tuesday mornings, so the next one will be tomorrow, Wednesday, against Frostburg State. What do you expect to see from the Bobcats?
They'll be a strong team. I mean, historically, Frostburg's been one of the top teams in the MEC consistently. Either winning divisional titles or winning the conference championship as a whole and going to the NCAA tournament. So it'll be a strong group. They're well drilled, they're well coached, they know exactly what they have to be doing, and they kind of stick to it. For us, it's an exciting challenge, I think, to have them here at home. Be able to play the way that we want to play on the front foot, and we're really hoping that we can get as many possible people as possible out to help us do that. We kind of see it as a good challenge for ourselves, and all the support that we can get to help us in that game would be greatly appreciated.
At that game tomorrow night, again, we film on Tuesdays. Wednesday, the 25th, I believe. Yes, Wednesday the 25th at 7:30 p.m. at West Family Athletic Complex here at West Liberty University's campus. And I know as a coach, I don't want you to jump too far ahead, but for the fans out there, a big one coming up Sunday for the first time this season. Wheeling University and West Liberty University face off at Bishop Schmidt Field at Wheeling University at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Again, I don't want you to jump too far ahead. You've got Frostburg State first, but just talk about that rivalry real quickly.
Yeah, it's obviously a big thing, and rightly so. So we'll concentrate obviously on Wednesday evening, and then our focus will immediately shift over to Wheeling on Sunday. They've made a good start to the season. They've got a lot of new players in. And I think they've grown a lot stronger. So for us, it'll be a good test. We have to take care of business and do what we have to do on Wednesday night, and then we'll turn our attention to the game against Wheeling on Sunday.
Sounds great, Coach. We'll see you again next week. Good luck in these upcoming 2 matches. Again, folks at home, it'll be Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. here at West Family Athletic Complex on the campus of West Liberty University. Then Sunday at 1 p.m. at Bishop Schmidt Field on the campus of Wheeling University. The Lady Toppers take on the Cardinals for the first time this season. Coach, thank you for being with us.
No problem.
And we will see you next week. We will be right back, folks.
Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Todd.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. With me now, head coach of volleyball, Makenzy Johnson. 5 matches in a week. 5 matches for volleyball since our last show. It's 7 days.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's been a long week. It's been a long month, I think, for the girls. I told them going into our last match on Saturday, I'm like, this is it, guys. Hang in there. I was like, if we perform well, we do our jobs, we stay disciplined. I gave them off yesterday and Sunday, so they've had a good reset, and we're back in the gym today.
Well, good. They're young. They're kids. They know what it's like. They can bounce back. People my age can no longer bounce back that well. But the first match since the last show was against Ursuline here at home. Toppers win that 3-1, 25-23, 25-18, 26-28, and then 25-20 to finish that one off. West Liberty had 8 aces, finished with 12 blocks, also 55 kills. Just great all-around performance for the Toppers.
Yeah, I think this week, starting out with Ursuline, finishing with Gannon, I think our block has kind of really showed up. I think that our pins are getting used to, setting blocks where I'd like to see them, and I think they're starting to see the success in that. So it's just really exciting. If we have a strong block, it gives our defense a little bit of a break in those longer rallies, and then we're able to score more and put the ball away.
We got to move on quickly, unfortunately, with so many matches. Move on to having matches against Slippery Rock and Clarion. Unfortunately, the Toppers in those ones unable to come up with victories, but had some good individual performances in the combination in those 2 matches. Kenny with 35 assists in the 2 matches, Dart 26 digs, Kudnick 25 digs, 14 kills, White 19 digs, 16 kills. Some pretty good individual performances though.
Yeah, absolutely. I always tell the girls, if we can get 3 to 4 hitters who are hitting, above that 100, above 200, we're in a good position. Just, limiting our errors in those matches were kind of key moments where it was really important for us, if we wanted to come out on top. But I was happy to see the girls compete with Clarion. They're a high regionally ranked opponent. They're a tough opponent. So seeing that we could take a set from them during that match was exciting.
And then they moved on to Shippensburg the following day. Toppers came up short in that one, 3-1. But Kaya White had 14 kills, Dart 22 digs, Kenny 21 assists. Good job there for the Toppers. What did you feel about that game?
Yeah, I think our serve receive was tested during that match. Kai White came up to me after that match and she was like, Coach Mack, I was looking at Shippensburg. That's the toughest serving team we've played, and they lead in aces, and they're a very aggressive serving team. So I think our confidence was a little bit shaken there during that match on the serve receive side of things. But I give props to our hitters for staying aggressive, finding the floor, and doing their jobs respectively.
And then we move on to the big one, the final match out of 5 this past week. Gannon, Toppers win in 3 sets, 30-28, 25-23, and also 25-23 for the last one. That first set, 30-28, that seemed kind of insane. Yeah,
I think that first set when it was going back and forth, in the moment you never really think about how nerve-wracking it might seem from the outside looking in, but one thing I will say is they were composed and confident through the entire extra points there. I don't think that there was a single time during those extra 5-6 points that maybe we were fretting that we wouldn't win or that we weren't swinging away. I think we were staying aggressive in the right moments, and inevitably ended up on top for that set 1.
Well, Bella Dart in this one got all tournament for the regional crossover. She also picked up her 500th career dig. Makenzy also with 500 career kills. So big win against Gannon. We're hitting personal high marks and hallmarks for these things. What was the feeling in the locker room after the game?
I walked into the locker room with the stat sheet in my hand, and I was just like, I don't have any words. I was like, I'm speechless. It was one of those moments where I knew that they were capable, but seeing them prove that to themselves, I think, is the biggest thing. They actually said, they're like, Coach Mack, that's the first time we've made you speechless in a good way. So I think, seeing them come together and, seeing us work as a well-oiled machine, I think was the key moments there. And, Bella Dart has really stepped into this libero role this year and kind of taken it, head first. So I'm super proud of her for that. I tell her that every day. Her serve receive is getting better. She's getting more aggressive in defense. And I think her overall confidence is just building as, she progresses through matches.
Well, it looks like the team is progressing pretty well. We get done with the craziness of the early season, a ridiculous amount of games in a short period of time.
Yeah.
I keep saying games when it's matches. I can't help myself. We
That's
film
okay.
all these sports at the same time, one after another. I swear I'll get better at this. The matches, does it feel like the team can take a deep breath now?
Yeah, I think, these past 2 days, I think we have meetings this week if they want to come in and talk, but I kind of miss them a little bit. I don't know if they miss me or, but I think, giving them the last 2 days off gave them a good reset, ready to get back in the gym. And, going into conference is always super exciting. And, we have our conference rivals and matches we're really looking forward to. And one thing about this team is they love to compete. Those easy matches where, maybe we're expected to win or we should win. Maybe those are the matches that we might fall short. But I think the matches that we're supposed to compete in and get better in and almost like the other team is giving us a run for our money, I think that's when we perform best.
Well, it's going to be a big one coming up. The next match is against Charleston. We're into conference play finally. The schedule has calmed down. The deep breath has been taken. What can we expect to see from Charleston?
I think Charleston is a very aggressive serving team. I think their blockers are disciplined. They have some heavy hitters, but overall, they have weaknesses just as we do. And for us, it's just capitalizing on our strengths and kind of exposing their weaknesses throughout the match to hopefully come out on top.
Well, Coach, good luck against Charleston. I know
Thank
that's
you.
a difficult team to play against
Yes.
for anybody. And it's a match, not a game. Folks at home, the Toppers will play Charleston here at the ASRC Friday night at 7 p.m. So be sure to come up here and check that out. It's going to be a good one. Coach, thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with us. Good luck against Charleston, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Thank you for watching the show. We will see everyone next time on Inside Hilltopper Athletics.
From humble beginnings in 1837, West Liberty University has been home to thousands of students. Whether you're a recent high school graduate or looking to complete a college degree later in life, starting your educational career at West Liberty University will be the catalyst for your future. This is a place where you will discover who you are and where you belong, surrounded by lifelong friends and a supportive faculty and staff. Start your journey home at westliberty.edu.